A DFS tout welched on a $500,000 election bet, never paid up, and he finally got outed this past week. The people on Twitter were begging for a lull show. Brian and I saw the bat signal. We said, you know what? It's time to dig into this Wiley, Club CamCole, Run Pure Sports, account deactivation, vanishing saga that has been folding over the past week. I'm Pete with Brick. It's time to do a classic episode of Lulz.
Does he think? I think he thinks this. He thinks this is a go. Vegas Dave thinks this is a go.
Hot naked girls doing yoga.
What?
Why don't you just win like a man?
Random.org. Type in 1 for yes, 2 for no, and let the DFS gods pick for you.
And I'm absolutely begging you not to dupe us. Please don't dupe us.
All right, Brian, we are both back from vacations. Coincidentally, both of us in Florida. I don't know if we overlapped when we were in Florida, but hope you had a nice time.
I did. Same to you. Where'd you go?
We were in Key West.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah,
but that was fun.
It was. I was telling people on Monday, it was like, it's not a place I would just go with Lauren. Like, it wouldn't be our scene, but with a toddler, there's like enough quirky, fun stuff to do there that we just stayed busy. In April, had a blast. So yeah, it was a success. But while I was on that vacation, my phone started blowing up. I believe, was this Saturday? Was that when it was? Saturday or Sunday?
I think so.
Yeah. And so we're gonna pull up some tweets here. We're not going to make assumptions that everyone knows exactly what we're talking about at the start. So we'll kind of want to provide some context on what went down. But all of this started, Brian, with a user on Twitter, Club CamCole. I vaguely know his name from, high stakes DFS, DraftKings stuff. And he had done a tweet on March 27th that said, should I expose a tout today? And I'll service the audio listeners. He shows an iMessage here, and it's the start of a negotiation about a bet. They say how much. Someone says 500K to your 600K or whatever you want, not any higher or half that. What would popular vote odds be? 500K to your 600K. Bet's good. Feel bad, but we're locked. So this is CamCole. Call you back. Other line. Wiley says Roger that. Then says we're locked next Friday wire. If something nuclear happens, this is Wiley, tomorrow before polls close, we can be honorable men and talk. Spoiler alert, there was no honor in this. And then Club CamCole says, nothing will happen, but okay. And then I don't see the timestamp. I assume this is after the election, and says, you have the money. And Wiley sends him a screenshot of his bank account, I believe was the second part of these screenshots here.
Yeah, they were in there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know why I just lost that screenshot in there, but Wiley,
it doesn't matter. It was blurred out anyways. It
was blurred out, but was like trying to prove that he was liquid enough to pay this out. And there's a follow-up screenshots here. Saying, yeah, I have the dough. Oh yeah. And it won't injure you too much if you lose. I don't want bad shit between us. And Club CamCole says it's nothing. I wasn't kidding when I told Empire I'd play him $1 million a slate. He starts doing some small talk. That would have been epic from a content perspective, would have been the highest rated ever. We should do it. And then Wiley responds, congrats, man. You were right. I'll call you in the morning. There's some reference to the Dow up 800 points, dumb people, I assume referencing some stuff that was fallout from the election. Wiley says, can I call? He says, sure, appreciate the call. And then this is where he starts to realize he's not going to get paid. Club CamCole goes, how do we go from asking for $1 million to looking at a $5 million oil deal raised to $250K to raising it to $500K to this? And then Wiley says, I was trying to impress you because I admire you. Never had intentions of pushing the button on anything. It's not a game I play in, but got caught up in it on Monday with you. And Club CamCole says, you started the conversations really just unacceptable. And he says, it is. I don't know where my head was. I apologize. Under so much pressure, I needed to cosplay I could get out. So those were the posts, and then he ended up quote retweeting those screenshots from the iMessage and tagged Wiley on Twitter and said, "It's at Wiley77 double spaces the lib." This link to Wiley's account no longer works because Wiley deleted his account after these exchanges. So that's kind of what kicked everything off over the weekend.
Yes, a little background from what I remember. Yeah, you kind of said with CamCole. I'm assuming that's his name. CamCole. Yeah, he's won like a bunch of golf stuff, I think, in DFS. I think that was his main game. And Wiley had a golf DFS podcast or golf related podcast.
Golflandia, right?
Golflandia. Yeah. He's kind of, in the space for a while. He was known as a tout critic briefly, like complaining about the touts before eventually joining with Run Pure too. So prior to this exchange, or during this exchange, he was the president / CEO of Run Pure.
Yep. And that's kind of part of what makes this story interesting. Like, there's stories in the DFS space. People reference the Seth Yates running off with the Super Bowl squares money. I think there was another guy I've seen reference, the Cess Peets or whatever, who ran off with 3,500. It's not unusual or shocking for someone to welch on a bet and then kind of disappear. It is more shocking when you are the CEO of a very public and content forward company in the DFS space. It obviously complicates how you handle or navigate a situation like this. You can't really just go quiet and just ignore things, because your entire life is going to be people peppering you with questions of like, when are you going to pay up? Why haven't you done this? You destroy your reputation like across the entire space. That obviously has to sow seeds of doubt into anyone who would want to subscribe to Run Pure Sports. Like, there's a reason that this had to have been addressed by him in some way. And the way he addressed it was just completely ejecting from the internet altogether.
Probably the smartest move, honestly. And what you're like, the reasons you were just explaining is probably another reason why CamCole would do the bet in the first place without any sort of escrow account or something like that, because it's like, well, he's the CEO of Run Pure. I know all those guys. So, I mean, and in our world, it is crazy. Like, I've done deals, not this big, but 6 figures without escrows. So it happens pretty often. You usually, you do get screwed over occasionally, but it does happen more than you think. But I'm assuming he thought like, oh, well, what's he going to do? I mean, just nuke his account and leave Run Pure.
Exactly. That was some of the conversation that I found the most boring, where, people were trying to call CamCole an idiot. Like, how did you not get this escrow and blah, blah. And it's like, one, you did. It's like, this kind of stuff happens. Like you said, these kind of deals and like rake free type bets happen on the side all the time. Maybe not quite at the scale, like you said, but this isn't uncommon. And 2, he probably thought he had kind of public, blackmail equity in like, this isn't some random account who can just ghost and I have no way to hold their feet to the fire. Like, he's the CEO of a company that can't or would not be willing to take the reputational hit of welching on a bet like this. So he probably was like, I have that up my sleeve if I need it.
Yeah. The one thing that complicates this is the horse racing stuff that these two were involved in. And also the rumor, Pete, I think you heard the same thing. And the more I think about it, maybe the rumor mill is just Davis Maddock telling everyone. And then we just go like, oh, I heard that too. But somebody told me that when the whole Hoop Big T thing happened, and then eventually Wiley came in as president, CEO of Run Pure, he was some rich kid or like rich guy or something. And and he was like, he had some money to bring to the table and experience or whatever, some business experience. And so that was a good match for them. And so maybe Cam had heard the same thing, or maybe it's true. Who knows what the whole story is. But that's another reason why he's like, oh, this guy owns horses. He's known rich from a rich family. It's not that much money to him.
Yeah, I didn't seem like, I guess CamCole asked once, like, do you have the money? Like, are you good for this? And he got his screenshot or whatever. But yeah, I think based on how Wiley presents himself online, there would be no reason to think he wouldn't be good for a bet of this size. I assume anyone who's, has enough money to buy horses.
It's a big bet.
It is a big bet. It's a very big bet. But I think that's what it's so funny. He uses the word cosplay too, because that's like the house of cards that came down, is like all of this cosplaying as this rich, successful business mogul who owns horses. Not to mention, like, the true cosplay thing of Wiley all along is he pretended he wanted to be Dave Portnoy. He literally had people calling him El Prez.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Portnoy owns horses. Portnoy, DK partner. Wiley somehow got Run Pure Sports a hashtag DK partner gig. Like, he desperately wanted to be Dave Portnoy. I mean, it was the best cosplay of all, except the not actually being rich.
I bet all the Run Pure guys who got laid off were like, so I had to call that guy the Prez, man.
El
Prez.
My
God. Even afterwards, he fired me.
It's like embarrassing enough to call yourself El Prez. It's even more embarrassing when it's directly ripped off of someone else's online.
Yeah,
image.
well, and it's phony based on. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe the cosplay thing I thought was, because we might get into this too, Pete, is like his businesses and stuff like that. There is a in the range of outcomes here, there is one where he was fairly wealthy and things just took a turn for the worse. And you can interpret that cosplay statement as, because he says he's like trying to get out of it or something. He was trying to bet his way out.
Yep. A few things here. Like Neil says, how confident are we that he actually didn't have the money versus just decided not to pay? I think if you were able to pay off that debt and it wouldn't, change your life in a meaningful way, you would pay off that bet. Like, to me, once you delete your account, you eject from basically public life altogether, all of your business relationships, whatever clout you had built up, whatever social cachet. To me, that pretty clearly says, I do not have the money to pay that. Unless someone just says my online persona and all of these relationships and business things are worth more than, or what would it be, less than $500,000?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, then I'll torch it.
Which they might be. His holdings in Run Pure and his online world, it might not be worth 500,000. Yes. I think Cam said somewhere in there, somebody the screenshot of the bank account was fake. Now, who knows if that's true? But if that's true, that it was a fake screenshot, or manipulated, then he most likely didn't have it.
And that's even like, again, you are doing a side deal with two people who you are under the assumption have a pretty big net worth. Like, to me, it's the lady doth protest so much. Even if you show me a real screenshot of your bank account, it's just supposed to be, hey, we're two big ballers here, swinging our dicks around. Like, of course you're good for it. Like, I feel like sending the screenshot is like a very teenager move to try to prove something.
Yeah, for sure. Another interesting aspect is it does seem like he was, Wiley, that is, was the one who was instigating it all. And
right.
I mean, that's what Cam says. And then there's another follow-up tweet here where Cam talks about the total vote, like all votes counted, not just whether he wins the election or not. Like, who will have the most amount of votes. And I thought it was, I sent it in our DMs if you wanted to bring it up.
Yeah. Let me pull this one up.
And the interesting part here, you'll see when he brings it up, is he wanted to get odds because Trump was like a dog to win the total vote amount. And so he wanted odds. This one, right?
Yep.
You want to read it? I can't see it.
Yeah, it says, haha, it was the someone. So basically, I think Pat Mayo talked about it on his show with Jeff Feinberg, and he clarified, said this wasn't a bet with strangers. He does owe it. It wasn't on Twitter DMs. It was over iMessage, which does show a level of familiarity, like with someone, I do think there's a difference between like iMessage and in Twitter as far as like how well you know someone. He says, I was pressured by him for weeks to make the bet. I didn't say anything publicly because I gave him time to pay. Once he started ignoring me, I told him exposure was coming. And then it says, so on brand, this is a reply from Tour Junkie, so on brand that he was pressuring you to take the opposite side of his burning desire to bet on Kamala Harris to win the popular vote. And then CamCole clarifies, it was the electoral, but he also tried to get popular vote, risking $2.5 million for 500K at 10 p.m. Luckily, I denied that. And so then there's a little screenshot of that exchange.
I thought the last part was kind of interesting. So yeah, he said, so Wiley goes, my 500K to your 2.5 million. And then he goes, no, but I will do 50 to 250K. Need to know in 2 minutes. And he says no. And Wiley says no though, like instantly, right? So that's kind of interesting to me because, I don't know. That either seems like he's like kind of taking this seriously still, like that these things will be paid out, or like that's not enough to ruin my reputation if I lose.
Yeah. Because obviously it's the same odds at what 5.
It's 500K. The man needs 500K
to make it move. Yeah.
He needs 500K bad. So he's like, how about this one for 500? How about this one for 500? I'll do it for 50. No.
Because if he accepted both of these bets, he still would have owed CamCole 250, right? Because he would have gotten 250 back from this one.
If he no, he would have lost both of them.
Oh shit. Sorry, I read that wrong. Okay.
Yeah, so Trump was the underdog in this one. So
gotcha. I knew I had it mixed up.
Yeah, so he would have owed 750.
750. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does need to be said that Cam was betting 600 in the other one, so he was really, which he would have paid most likely. So he was free rolling him for 600.
Yeah. So there's a little bit more of the context there. Some of the other, he's done a few follow-up tweets. I should also just say right now, before people ask, we tried to get Club CamCole on this episode. We tagged him on tweets. We sent him tweets. He didn't have DMs open, so there wasn't any way to privately contact him. We made it known many times, including right now. If you're watching CamCole, I'm sure there's parts of this story that we don't have the full picture to. You are more than welcome. Hit me up right now and I will send you the link and you can hop on the show. We tried to get him on, but the show has to go on in one way or the other here.
Yeah, exactly. Or Wiley. Somebody mentioned earlier, Cam could be lying. And it's like, that's a possibility. There's like, less than 1% chance. Or
it's one of it's one of the classic situations where you delete your entire online presence, eject yourself from CEO of a company, because the other person is the one in the wrong. And
right.
Definitely.
Yeah. He's going to come back on and be like, this was a big misunderstanding.
Yeah. And so just for there's lots of conversation. Again, the most boring part of this conversation to me is when people are like, well, how would you not escrow, do all this stuff?
Yeah,
like
whatever.
Who cares? But like Big Main says, like to kind of summarize what it was, he was basically free rolling for $1 million, just trying to outright steal money from Cam.
Yeah.
Where if Kamala wins, he gets paid because CamCole's seems like a pretty trustworthy gambler, at least just from how people are representing him and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's just was an outright free roll on that bet, knowing he never had intention to pay.
Yeah, that's what it appears to be. There are other reasons, like he could have had the money at the time and then lost it, and then couldn't pay. Either way, it doesn't really matter, I guess, for Cam, at least, what the motivation was. But there is some other worlds they live in. I think the whole RPS connection and stuff, though, makes it makes the whole thing really weird. But like it's like I think it's less likely that he was just like had some bad investments go down and he was cash poor at this moment right now, when he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Let's segue into that. To me, the more interesting stuff here isn't so much the welching on the bet, but being the CEO of a public facing company. One of the things when Wiley came in and took over the CEO position, and we actually found a podcast that he had done with Andy Lack. And at the end of the podcast, he had kind of talked about how he got hooked up with Run Pure Sports. He talked about being a fan of Big T. I think they live close together, or at least they did live close together. Their families became friends. Big T basically pitched Wiley on, hey, I'm not a business guy. I need someone to help run the business side of this company so we can focus on doing content. And that was kind of how he described his origins at CEO, of coming in and trying to kind of get them on the right track business wise. So obviously part of detonating your account is he's no longer affiliated with Run Pure Sports. And was it JBC who came out and clarified that as well?
That's the tweet I saw was JBC. Yeah.
Yeah. And let me go see here if I can find his, do you know?
It was a
do you know
reply
what his account?
too. Yeah, it's just like one line. He's no longer affiliated with Run Pure Sports.
Okay. And the CamCole did a tweet as well saying, to be clear, RPS, Run Pure Sports, had nothing to do with any of this. It was strictly Wiley trying to free roll me. Total fraud and scammer. Big T, JBC, and the rest of the Run Pure guys are legit. So CamCole clearly saying a lot of comments, I'm sure, including Run Pure Sports in this mess, felt the need to clarify that to kind of protect what I assume are some of his buddies or people he respects in Big T and JBC.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts, but like my initial thoughts are just like, I mean, you can't help, like, if somebody scams somebody else, like, it's not your fault. So like, I think Run Pure is had some bad luck here for some of their employee choices, but he was president. He did a lot of content there. So I understand where it's like, I mean, it just looks really bad for them, especially their brand too, which is, like culture and the Run Pure world. Not good. I'm sure they're super pissed at this guy, but the thing I think is interesting, I think there's just like more to that whole relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the part that's really interesting to me here, of like the JBC thing. And they said that basically, and we've gotten some DMs and stuff, so I don't even remember where this was sourced, but basically what we allegedly heard was that this was going to happen. His ousting at Run Pure Sports was going to happen separate from this welching bet. Now, It seems pretty coincidental that all of this would happen at the same time. Although I guess when you delete your Twitter account, everything, it's not like you're going to be hanging out in Discord, after deleting your Twitter account.
I have one more golf article I got to do.
Yeah. But I am curious, and I don't know if anyone in the chat is in like the Run Pure Sports Discord, but has there been any even internal communications from them about what's happening? Have they said, Wiley's no longer with us? Have they addressed the situation at all? Because all we've seen from JBC is that, hey, he's no longer with the company and this was happening regardless.
And you remember the Hoop Big T situation? They had the whole big press release. Remember?
I do remember that. Oh my God, we pulled that up and read that.
Yeah, let's see if, oh man, they got to change their SEO, because if you type in Run Pure Sports, the first thing, at least on mine, is author Matthew Wiley. Is there the first thing that pops up? Let's see if they got.
I can't believe I'm not wearing my Run Pure Sports hat.
For shit. Yeah,
well.
Pete. I popped the Lowell's hat on.
Yeah.
To get our investigative juices flowing.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I understand Cam's tweet. RPS had nothing to do with this. Like, it's pretty clear that he's DMing directly with Wiley. It is hard, though. I mean, at the end of the day, you are related by very direct proxy to the CEO of your company. Like, I don't know how you can fully untangle Not saying that other people were in on the bet or the scam or whatever, but you have been in bed, you have been in business with Wiley. I don't think you can fully separate that this looks bad for them and their company.
No, I guarantee they're pissed off. I mean, it'd be interesting if they do a statement, or maybe someone will send a message on Twitter or whatever to what actually happened. But do you think it could be, we haven't really talked too much about it, the whole Kentucky horse racing section of all this, which is kind of intertwined with the EM2 angle, which I know you saw.
Yeah, let's pull that up. There's all these different side plots. This one,
it's pretty,
I believe.
Yeah, here we go.
Was this, so this Bell Zerker account, the handles at the Nope Rat, says breaking. And yes, all real posts definitely start with breaking. Sources close to the Wiley situation have alerted me that Wiley is taking the fall after middlemanning the bet with Cam. The bet was placed with Matthew Wiley as the proxy for the now broke Empiremaker 2, another guy who we have just not heard from in ages, who was supposed to be the money partner. The money was gone. Cam replies shortly after, LOL, this is a lie. There's I would say, again, looking back in the tweets, there is nothing even remotely contextual. And you're telling me that someone who is willing to delete their account off of this wouldn't throw someone else under the bus first? Wouldn't that be the easiest way? This guy's already off the internet. Just say, dude, I was middlemaning for Empiremaker. You could actually save face with that excuse. I mean, people would still be upset and say it's Bush League, but it's a way better look than just completely ejecting from the internet. So I don't buy that whatsoever. He would throw Empiremaker under the bus so fast if he could.
Yeah. It would be in one of the DMs there too. Man, it's not me, it's Empiremaker. And also Empiremaker would just do it himself. Why would he? I mean, I guess it's possible if his reputation's so ruined, he needs to use someone else to get a bet down or something. But I don't think that's true. I bet he could get that down if he wanted. So it doesn't make any sense. And also, Cam's saying not true.
Yeah. I guess, is there a chance? Maybe, but just based on the evidence and the publicly posted screenshots, it seems very, very low odds that that's actually the case here. I mean, you mentioned it with Run Pure. I mean, one of the most popular Lulz episodes of all time is Big T's big breakup with his boy Hoop, who he started Run Pure Sports with. Then he says, all right, I need a business guy. I could do this content thing on my own. Goes and gets Wiley. In that podcast, Wiley says that they're friends, their family knows each other, whatever. Now Wiley's gone at Run Pure Sports. I'm worried about Big T's ability to form friendships with trustworthy individuals who are in it for the long haul. I just announced that I'm doing a fantasy football tout competition. Maybe I should also do one. Can we find Big T a good friend or a good business partner?
Maybe Hoop wasn't that bad after all, Big T.
Yeah. Hey, we enjoyed our time talking with Hoop there. We also tried Mangone, who had left Run Pure Sports. That was of interest. I don't know however many months ago. We were trying to get him on the show, and then I think he had some legal stuff or NDA stuff that he had signed, and he's just the juice isn't worth the squeeze, so that fell through. But that actually reminds me, Brian, because one of the funny things about the Wiley era of Run Pure Sports is he loved the idea of being litigious or threatening, suing people basically over anything that he deemed slander.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Because he kind of was swooping in the post-Hoop era, and he was like, I'm going to rehab our image. I'm going to go around and hound anyone who dares says anything bad about our company. That was his kind of move on X after all of that. Yeah,
that's why you delete your account like Wiley did, because you know how many receipts we'd have right now of here, look at this hypocrite, look at this.
Oh, yeah, he was talking a big game. I mean, I remember him saying like ETR's going to 0, a lot of, braggadocio about them being the best DFS site. Like again, he was doing his Portnoy cosplay
Yeah.
thing.
But even before that, he would do a lot of like shaming of touts. He in like on that podcast we listened to, he's also like, I would only involve myself if it's gonna succeed. And like, like he has it's like a lot, and he also does a lot of shaming too. Like that's why Cam was calling him a lib and stuff. One of the reasons. And it's like, of course, when it comes to his own behavior, he just deletes his shit and free roll someone for 500K.
There was also, I did see in one of his replies that I hadn't noticed initially, was he said he was in on the horse with Wiley.
Yeah,
you see
that was the weird one. It's in there. So that's what I was thinking might have happened with Run Pure, is they all joined on a horse and like got shares of a horse, and I think they stopped. He like kind of he said I think Cam says that he sold, or is it Brett? One of the two said he sold the horse. I don't know if you have it.
I can give you my story
right
with Wiley. This is from Brett Hartfield. I owned a horse with him in a group, randomly gets sold, doesn't tell owners. Owners find out about it. He makes up story. We lose money. Other known DFS guys have ownership in horses. Makes me think he has done a lot of shady stuff in a biz littered with filth. Someone said owning a horse is a waste of money, is kind of what Brett is implying with this GIF. And then CamCole said, I also owned in this horse. Which again makes sense why they're on iMessage. Like clearly they've done business before. Like if he owned in this horse, it means that he has literally sent money to Wiley, right? Like as payment for whatever his share in this horse was. Like they've had a financial relationship clearly up to this point.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering, the timeline. Like, so did he screw you over on the horse, and you're still making no escrow $600,000 prop bets? That's kind of stupid.
I guess we would have to know the timeline on when the horse deal was relative to the election bets. But CamCole strikes me as a very smart person. If he's this good at DFS and, has had this success with this, like he clearly felt comfortable exchanging money and doing deals with Wiley. I do think what Wiley exhibited is like peak scammer, right? Where you put on the facade, you play the part. Like he had everybody fooled that this was really who he was. And then that clearly was not the case.
That's what it looks like. I think those are like the two outcomes, is like the guy who started running bad and panicked and made some stupid decisions, or just total scammer. But I'm guessing Run Pure might have had like maybe they started figuring it out, like, oh, maybe this guy wasn't a rich guy who's helping us out, and he's also not paying Big T his share of the horse or whatever. And then now this CamCole guy is telling us he owes him $500,000, and they just didn't fire him in time.
There's also, again, how much can you untangle Wiley side election bets, even horse bets guy from the Run Pure Sports infrastructure. Red Kachik here says, Run Pure Sports owes me $6,000 from 2024, but now I'm thinking it wasn't Run Pure Sports team's fault of withholding this. Always liked Tony, so was surprised that every month there was a problem just paying me 10% of it at a time. Andy Lack follows up, says, had same problem getting paid from Wiley, and don't think that was the other guys at Run Pure Sports' fault either. Which, if they basically just said, we're going to make content and we are giving you the keys to the accounting castle or whatever it was, of like handling all payments, all business, like that part actually checks out. And I wonder is this actually where, for the Run Pure Sports guys, where it was like, we have to sever ties because this guy's literally stiffing our contributors or whatever. We have such a bad reputation now with all of these people that we actually don't want to be in business with you. But then if you have a scammer who's the only person who's handling all of these finances, like your hands are kind of tied in that regard. Like decoupling him from all of your finances is hard if he's the only person handling the finances.
I was wondering that too. Like if he, and also if he, because the rumor was he came in with some capital. Who knows if that's true? But if he did, I'm assuming he has some legal right to the company still. You can't just like fire him. I mean, who knows what the agreement was? But it does seem harder, a little harder than just, you know, letting Mangone go, you know, from his contract or something.
Yeah. I mean, you know, in these guys saying that they were owed money too, like, I mean, what are at some point, like you hit up Big T, if Big T is the guy that you know, everybody likes and trusts and whose name continues to, you know, stay out of the muck, doesn't at some point Big T have to say, all right, yeah, we got to get you paid. We'll figure this out. I'll go get it done. I'll talk to Wiley. Or do you just say, no, Wiley's got it. Sorry, I don't deal with that.
That's a big number. That's a big number.
What number?
Oh, are you talking about the 500K, right?
No, I'm talking about these like 6K and these guys saying that.
Yeah, okay.
They're saying that they have outstanding payments from Run Pure Sports. And if Wiley was the one that was withholding it or not doing it, but they still respected the other guys, at what point do you say, hey, other guys, someone needs to get this fixed because the guy who holds your purse strings is not paying out?
This is okay. I'm assuming this is affiliate deals, probably, huh?
Yeah.
That they just didn't pay out. Yeah, not good. That is, I mean, that does give them, you know, like a step away from the blame, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're gonna have to do some sort of press release on this one, huh, Pete? Like, you could try to like maybe hide, but you're gonna get a lot of YouTube comments from here on out, I'm sure. You know, I'll bet you 500K that's not true, Big T. You know, it's shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like he was, you know, the core people at Run Pure Sports, they are there for Big T. They were there for Hoop. You could say they're there now for JBC. I'm guessing there is no one that was at Run Pure Sports for Wiley.
Maybe this is this, and you know, to be charitable, maybe this is why they wanted to let him go too. They're like, what is going on? Like, affiliates aren't getting paid. Maybe he was stiffing them, like he was taking money. Who knows? And then instead of paying out the affiliates, just paying himself a bigger salary or something.
Let's see. How do you do? So we can offer our free PR services here because Sherlock Penguin has no idea. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think you come out. I do think you have to come out and make a statement.
Yeah.
And I mean, you position him as a rogue actor. You have to take some kind of L and say, we were fucking idiots for giving this guy the keys to run our business.
Yeah.
We have proven multiple times now we're a bad character of judges and we don't make good business decisions. We fucked up. We're a bunch of content guys who got into business with the wrong guy who turned out to be a scammer. And we had no clue.
He's obviously litigious, so you don't want to say anything that he'll sue you.
Yes.
You can't go like, he stopped paying people and we think he pocketed the money or something. But if you can make a claim that your lawyers look over that can't be sued, where like incompetent or, you know, something that's not super defamatory or something like that.
Yeah.
I would put something like that in there. But you can't, I mean, and like to address this stuff too, maybe like anyone who's had problems with Wiley, you know, DM, email info@runpure.com and we'll get back to you. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be the move of like, we've heard that, you know, multiple people have been stiffed or wronged by him. We're here to make this right. Please reach out to us and let us know. Because clearly he's been sullying our name with some of these deals.
I just see Unpure Sports in chat. Did you see that? Somebody tweeted to all those people who voted Run Pure over Ship It Nation on lulls should hang their heads in shame or something like that. Somebody because you know how we stopped that bit, but we would always ask Run Pure, are you Ship It Team Run Pure or Team Ship It Nation?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you should hang your head in shame. I mean, I don't know, but they should. I think they could. I think they could come out with something and talk to these guys and figure it out. So that Andy Lax, that podcast we listened to, that Wiley did, he did a bunch of podcasts with him, with that Andy guy, and I thought like when he said on there too, Wiley's like, well, I have 50 employees. And I'm like, is that Run Pure he's talking about? I think he was talking about Run Pure.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's way too many employees, bro. For a 2026 company.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
as CEO and president, like, you should, instead of bragging about how many people work underneath you, you should work about, saving some money for the company. I don't know.
Someone in the chat mentioning this, and I also vaguely remember this happening at the time, or sorry, not this one. Their horse got claimed on August 1st, 25. The horse's name was Viteman. There's an article about the van crash the horse was in, and Wiley's tweets were quoted in it.
Oh.
And
what does claimed mean?
Yeah, that's why I'm...
Is that like a weird horse world term for like put down or something? Or is that sold?
Yeah.
But then he says there's a crash, so.
Because I thought the horse died. It's
like 3
horses are dead and 4 are gravely injured.
Is this a horse insurance fraud to pay off gambling debts? They killed his poor horse.
Yeah. No, sold. Okay, picked up in a race. But I think it was injured in this car crash. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Yeah, if I'm not having him as a customer.
Yeah. So I think tell me, chat, if I'm wrong, but the implication here is that because of that accident, like they lost a ton of value on the horse. I'm assuming from what it was worth. If it got injured and you're not able to race it or profit from owning the horse.
It was injured. Other horses died, Mark says.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe this started the downward spiral of monetary problems for Matthew Wiley. Well, you probably shouldn't get involved in horse investing unless you're significantly wealthier.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember tweeting about this. 3 horses died in a crash on the Bluegrass Parkway early Monday morning. A semi was heading eastbound when it crossed the median into westbound lanes, crashed into the embankment of the overpass. The driver of the semi had head and foot lacerations and was transported to the hospital. The trailer was carrying 7 thoroughbreds at the time. 3 were pronounced dead at the scene, and the other 4 were transported to a hospital with life-threatening injuries.
The picture of the semi drivers, just like Wiley in one of those, fake nose and mustache costumes.
Jesus. Yeah. So I wonder if because this happened, this was March 2024. So this is 2 years ago. And then
March 2020. Yeah. Okay. You saw this one. I sent you this tweet. Cam said EM2 Welch 90K on him. This is a side note, but I'm just trying to get the timelines down. In March, he didn't say when, but sorry, this is the one I was doing. Cam said responded to a Wiley tweet with the words "free rolling?" ? But you can't see what Wiley said because he deleted his account.
Yeah.
And that was in, let's see here, July 17th, 2025. So it seems like there might have been, I don't know, that I wish you could see the original tweet, but it's kind of interesting. That was that's the EM2 one.
That's the M2. Here's the
free rolling, but we don't know what the original message was.
Yeah.
To me, that's like passive aggressive.
And it seems like, another thing that someone sent me too, had found this like screenshot as far as, all of these guys, not that this is like some smoking gun or whatever, but these guys had all done the big best ball tournament live in person that DraftKings held. I think it was like a 50K buy-in thing. And, Big T was in it. JBC was in it. And Club CamCole was in it along with Yuta. Yuta doing this might be the funniest part about this whole thing is that Yuta hired Chess Liam as his best ball coach for this tournament. I always forget about that until I see this screenshot. Fun fact. Those two paired up together is hilarious. But I just thought it was interesting too. Again, like these guys, the level of familiarity with the iMessage, clearly being in business on this horse, doing this stuff together. Like these are guys that know each other well. And that's why the thing about like Wiley being this rogue actor is still such a bizarre thing, because they were clearly intertwined, both socially and financially.
When you bring up the things I forgot about, where he was talking Wiley was talking about suing everyone.
Yeah.
And then the El Presidente thing. But if you think about it, maybe because Twitter's, algorithm changes so much since Elon took over. But when's the last time you even heard anything from him? It's been a while for me. He was on feed, like from Wiley.
From Wiley? Yeah.
Yeah. Because we would see something every day.
Well, yeah. No, you're right. It's always hard to know how much of that is the algorithm.
Yeah, it's tough to tell, but I don't know. Maybe people in chat, when's the last time you saw anything out of Wiley? It's been forever.
And it was, at the time, it was a clear marketing play. He was posting a ton. He was talking shit. That's the kind of stuff that's going to get served up in the algorithm. It does make sense though, right? Like if something financially or whatever was going on in his life that was sending him down this path, it's kind of hard to cosplay as the cocky, tough guy on X when your life is actually crumbling behind the scenes.
Especially if like CamCole's doing this free roll question marks, passive aggressive, like you better not tweet anything, but you still owe me 500K. Like you better not say anything about anyone else. It's not fun in Twitter when you can't just, shame everyone at will with no repercussions.
Yeah.
But like maybe like he came in, he's a liar. They fucking fell for it. He is good when you listen to him on podcasts. He speaks very clearly. He's a pretty good public speaker. So like maybe they just bought it. He comes in with all these promises, starts hard with all that stuff. And then like a year later, like we're actually making less money, like maybe it's that simple for RunPure. Like there's like rumors, people aren't getting paid. And then they're like, we got to get rid of this guy, but we don't want to look bad again. Right. Like they would look like fool. Like even if this didn't happen this way and they had to get rid of him, they would look like idiots again.
Yeah.
Right. Like even if this didn't happen at all and they fired him today, we'd be like, oh, look at RunPure once again.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's the antithesis too of like what, RunPure sport, it's like we have high stakes, successful players who have won for a long time, and to have a scammer be literally running your company, it's just such a devastating look. Like if you're trying to encourage people to come join your squad.
Eli, I don't think he's running a marketing company anymore.
Yeah. So this was another thing we looked into. Like you can see the screenshot on his like cached Twitter thing here. His bio had said president at RunPure Sports, founder at Block Marketing, BLOC MKTG is the handle, and then Showdown Kings Horse Racing.
RIP.
It seems like RIP to literally all three of these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't find anything about Block Marketing. You go to their website. This is what you get if you go to Block, mktg.com. This is what had been their main thing. This domain isn't even connected to a website. Brian, you sent over some Glassdoor reviews that someone had sent you. Pretty laid back culture, pool table at work, cons, low pay, and paychecks frequently late by up to 2 weeks or more. But the pool table was good enough to still get a 3.8 from 2 reviews. So there was one guy who really loves pool who gave a 5-star, and some guy who always got paid late who gave
Wiley's wife
a 2-star.
And then the guy who didn't get his paycheck for a month.
What's the link, Derek? Derek says Wiley definitely has a burner account and has been responding to tweets, just like the replies, that it's pretty clear.
Which one is it?
Yeah, send the link.
Is it Flannelverse?
Flannelverse wants to know, does Brick have any insights into what it means to be locked in this context?
What I miss? Where's locked at?
No, he's talking about in the initial screenshots of the bet. It wasn't he saying like, are we locked in on the bet? Are we confirmed?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, for him, that means I'm going to ghost you. And for Cam, it meant I will pay you. So I guess it depends on who said it.
If you are just tuning in now, we are 51 minutes into the podcast. Be easy asking, what this Wiley guy do? We started at the very top, at the top of the show. For anyone, I will put the timestamps as well. Although my timestamps are pretty bad. I have the backstory, RPS severs ties with Wiley, Empiremaker involved ? And then a horse deal ? So I'm crushing it on the timestamps right now for this conversation.
I mean, maybe we will eventually get some more detail, but a lot of interesting little twists and turns, I think, to this one. Is 500 or 600K, depending on which side you're looking at, is that the biggest DFS scam, Welching?
Yeah,
in history, I think so, right?
Yeah, it would be hard to come up with another one, but there was actually some funny tweets. I got to go back to some of my bookmarks here. There was one really funny one here. Yeah, it's actually from our guy, the Nope Rat. Never had more respect for Wiley than I do right now. Torching your entire online identity for 500K is so worth it. Cecil did it for a measly 5K. There's levels to this.
It's true. I mean, that's why I think that 50K denial bet, the 50K for 250 on the popular vote, it's just okay. That's so weird to me. Like, why not? If you're going to whatever he'll give you, if you're just going to win or bail, just take the 50K. Right?
Yeah.
Why deny the 50K? I mean, maybe he really thought he was going to pay this back.
I don't know, but like in the exchange at the end of the tweets or the iMessages, he basically admits, he's like, I was just fucking around and never had any intention.
What does that mean? What world does he live in?
That's the good question.
Doesn't make any sense for anyone who's been involved in this industry for more than fucking 5 days.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way you could host a DFS podcast show for years and not know how this works. It's not fucking possible.
He says, trying to impress you because I admire you. That might be one of the saddest things I've ever seen written. Trying to impress you because I admire you.
I mean, that's pure like manipulative personality disorder type of speech.
Yeah. Never had intentions of pushing the button on anything. It's not a game I play in. It clearly is. But got caught up in it on Monday with you. There's the whole other side plot to all of this is, Club CamCole, when he outs him, he says Wiley the lib. Yeah. I actually didn't know like what his political leanings are.
Well, he is Canadian.
He is Canadian.
So that's like default lib.
Which is kind of funny in the context. I mean, I don't think there's a more MAGA DFS site out there than Run Pure Sports. And I think in that interview we listened to with Andy, he even references that. He's like, me and Big T come from completely different I don't know if he said upbringings or backgrounds. He said
Yeah,
something to that extent that alluded to like they have very clear, different views on life, which again is a pretty interesting thing of being like, this is the company I want to come run or,
Right.
be a part of there.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes it more like he was desperate for a job or something, but as opposed to like ideologically aligned and want them to succeed, which what you kind of think, what I kind of thought. But yeah, I think you're right. I did get the feel though that it was more like a class thing. Like he grew up rich.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought when we're totally two different, but maybe not. But he also could have been calling them lib here because he bet on Kamala.
Yeah.
And maybe not.
I just think
who knows?
I don't, I mean, if someone thought they were getting it in good, like I'm just, I guess I think of like betting on elections as apolitical. Like, aren't you just trying to win money?
That's what I think. Yeah.
But almost in the screenshots, I wonder when he's saying this here, I wonder if he is saying like he got caught up emotionally in it. Like, is it like he wanted Kamala to win and he was like basically sparring about politics and this was his way of putting a scoreboard to it?
That's what I thought. Like they were having a Zoom call or something or a phone call, or maybe he's in Kentucky too and they were golfing or something. And, but you could take that two ways too. Like you could be apolitical in this and go like, man, the polling shows Kamala's going to win. You're wrong. You could get upset that way, or you could get upset if it was political for him too. So like it's both of them, but I think that is what happened.
Yeah.
But like that still doesn't make sense too, because like he was bringing this stuff up before, right? Like they were talking about this before Monday.
Yeah.
And it was his bets and stuff and his bet ideas. And then he does the popular vote bet idea, which is funny. We would have lost that too.
I will say too, like the energy, everybody knows that kind of bet that you've made where you're kind of, it's actually kind of adversarial and you're arguing with someone. And then you're like, let's DM about this or whatever. It's basically like, let's put our money where our mouth is. Like, I think you're full of shit. Put some money on this. The tone of these exchanges are way more like cordial and like very kind of like joking and playful. It didn't seem like two guys who are at each other's throats who are like, let's settle this with our pocketbooks, which is again, what's so weird about it to me, where it's like, you kind of understand it more if you got really heated in a public argument and you thought someone was making you look stupid or whatever. And you're like, all right, let's bet on it. Like there's not a super aggro vibe to this exchange, which is also interesting because and he's the one who suggested it. It's not like he was getting pressured and backed into a corner and his manlyhood was questioned if he didn't do the bet. Like this was all him. And this guy's sitting here thinking like, I'm getting it in really good. Yeah. Whatever you want, brother. Let's do it.
Yeah. And the more I think about it, the more scammy it becomes too. Because again, I'm just focusing on this too much with the $2.5 million offer. If he can't pay $500,000, there's no chance he's going to pay 2.5. No. Like even if he was getting cash poor very quickly for some unknown reason, like in the most charitable way you can interpret this, you can't bet $3 million because he had the 500,000 and 2.5 liability, and it was his, and he offered it. He offered the 2.5, and it was too rich for Cam's taste. So he goes, no, let's do 50 for 250, and then he turns that down. It's so weird. Like, come on, like there's no way he couldn't pay 500,000, but he was going to have the 2.5 and the 500,000 covered. He was free rolling the shit out of him.
This is pretty wild. If this is correct from John Berg in the chat, he says there's a Matthew John Wiley with an upcoming court case in Kentucky on 4/16. Is this Wiley77 could explain RPS's lack of details about him no longer being part of the company?
So the anonymous source, I don't know. We all know who he is, but I don't know if he wants his name said. Sent me this as well. It looks like we looked at it. It might be just a traffic violation because it's got like a T in the court case.
But you do think it's him?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still just like when it rains, it pours.
Can you imagine like the day after Cam sends this tweet, he's just like all like daydreaming. He's just so mad his life's over. And then all of a sudden he's got the cherries. Oh, fucking shit.
He's just driving 60 and a 30 to go delete all the accounts everywhere.
I gotta get to my computer.
Jeez.
You don't understand, officer. Oh wait, what if he's doing this? So like he doesn't have the money, but he figures he can double free roll. Because if you bet the popular vote, Kamala can still lose the election but win the popular vote. And she was like a huge favorite to win the popular vote, right? Because that's what he wanted, 7-1 or whatever the fuck he wanted. So he's like, okay, I can't pay the 500, but she's like, definitely, if I can get him to do 500K for 2.5, I'm basically free rolling either way, because I'll lose one, win the other, or win both.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why then he goes, no, I'll do 50K. He's like, nah, that fucks up my scheme of fucking you as hard as I possibly can.
It is the weirdest part of that, of not being willing to do the 50K.
Yeah,
bet.
I think I just figured it out. That's it. He's got the 500K free roll. He's like, there's no way this broad is losing the popular vote. I mean, she was a huge favorite for that. Huge favorite. And if he could get him to put the 2.5 versus the 500K, he's in his mind, he's free rolling.
Yeah. There still is something that had to have been happening even at this point for him to be in that headspace of, I mean, he's clearly making bets at sizes that are above his means, like pretty clearly. And if you, like you said, I guess there's like two readings of it. Like you said, like the language and verbiage this is very calculated scammer type language, trying to court sympathy, disarm the person you're scamming. Or like, how calculated was this scheme, essentially, to your point, like trying to really pull this off, versus this is just like a broken individual who was like flailing and everything in his life was falling apart. And this was part of his like mental breakdown and thinking this was a good idea.
Or both. I mean,
yeah.
He could be just spiraling and then concoct this plan too. But I think clearly that's what happened there is he made the 500K bet, and then to try to free roll his way out of it, he goes because if he can't pay 500K, he can't pay 3 million. There's no way he has that money. So the whole thing was a scam because he just didn't have it. Or like what Neil said, like he couldn't, or whoever, I think it was Neil, just wouldn't pay it even if he had it. So, but I think that's what the 2.5, because Kamala wins popular vote but loses the election, he breaks even. Or Kamala wins and wins the popular vote, he gets $1 million. Or she loses and loses the popular vote, you just nuke your Twitter account and don't respond anyway. So he was really trying to free roll for $1 million.
Yeah. I mean, when did he take over at Run Pure Sports? I'm just trying to figure out the timeline to this. When was this
podcast? Because it was shortly before that, based on conversation.
This podcast that the podcast we're referencing is he went on a podcast with Andy Lack, a guy who said this was from November 21st, 2023.
So probably a couple months before that, or a month before.
And then the election was a year later.
Yeah.
2024. November.
Right. So he got in office in 2025. So it would have been November 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're somewhere between, this was the podcast right after he joined. Within that year, things went. And then in March of 2024 was the horse thing. So like the year that preceded from this, like things really started to go.
Right. And then July 17th in 2025, Cam sent that free rolling passive aggressive tweet, which would have been 6, 7, 8 months after the election, still hasn't gotten paid yet.
Yeah.
And then, so he waited almost a whole nother year
to out him.
Yeah. And so now it's been a year and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw someone complaining to Cam, like, it's that election was like 2 years ago, bro. It's like, Do you not know anything about anything? Like, you don't want to immediately call out the guy who owes you money that you can't legally really get it for.
And it sounds like he's boys with Big T and JBC. Like he knows that they clearly have business interests and a lot of, I don't want to say their livelihoods, but like their work careers are tethered to this guy who's scamming you. It makes a lot of sense of like, I'm going to give this guy an extremely long leash to get this figured out. I would be really curious to know how much he talked to JBC and Big T and been like, hey, just so you know, this happened. Wiley owes me $500,000 and is now pretending like it didn't happen. I'm curious what kind of knowledge there was within those circles, or if this had been just 1v1 until he had to have talked to these guys about it, right?
I would imagine. I bet he did. I bet it's very likely he did. I'm assuming they were connected with one of these horses too, probably.
Right.
Yeah, there's probably been a lot of chatter. You know, I mean, Big T could be like, he owes me $90,000 from this horse that got killed or whatever. You know, like they could have been going back and forth. And then the reason that he killed his account, his Twitter account, Wiley killed his Twitter account so quickly was probably because of all these guys turned on him too. And he's just like, there's nothing I can say.
See, this seems crazy to me. Deegs in the chat says, I heard most of Run Pure Sports was blindsided about both the horse and the bet issues. I guess most makes sense to me, but if Big T and JBC are your boys and you're all in business on this horse stuff, like how does Cam not mention something? Like, before going public, you have this year of, or however long of keeping this private. Isn't the middle step, okay, I'm not going fully public, but I'm going to apply some pressure. I'm going to tell some of the guys that are close to both me and Wiley, hey, this happened. This is awkward. This dude owes me a lot of money. That had to have been relayed to these guys. I would be shocked if they found out about this when CamCole posted it. That doesn't make sense.
No, I bet he told Big T at the very least, probably JBC too. And
that's probably when those guys were like, fuck, who's running our company? If this is how he's acting privately.
Yeah. And like, again, to be charitable to them, then maybe they started going like, oh, fuck, our affiliates aren't getting paid. What's going on here?
And then realizing, how do we untangle ourselves?
I still can't believe they have 50 employees or they did when Wiley took over.
My guess is he was claiming anyone who had ever been a contributor as a, there's a pretty big difference between a full-time employee and a contributor.
So Matt Madison was an employee of Run Pure Sports.
I mean, can we get someone on here from Run Pure Sports for the tell-all? We tried Mangone, try Madison.
I think I know the vector of delivery for their apology message. Do you bring Madison back for one last?
I DM'd Mangone. Petty Theft says Mangone left RPS a while back. Perhaps he heard about what happened and didn't agree. I DM'd him before the show and asked him if he had any information. And he said, I can ask and let you know, but then I didn't hear back from him. So I was hoping to we tried to do by us trying to be journalists. We publicly asked for CamCole to come on the show, and I sent a DM to Mangone, and then a few people sent us screenshots in the DMs. That was the extent of our.
I mean, in our defense, this is a very tiny corner of the internet that would have any interest in this at all. Besides just the general story is pretty amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's to me, you know, the deleting the Twitter account, because clearly I wonder how long Wiley thought he could kind of just push Cam off to the side in just this debt he had and just keep operating business as usual. That's why I keep coming back to their friend group and their other financial interests with the horse or whatever. It was way too intertwined for this never to blow up. Like, there was no way this wasn't going to blow up in his face at some point.
Do you think, I mean, I think it's kind of crazy that Cam's tweet just, bam, that's it. Like, it was over. Because, like, if somebody, I mean, he's kind of popular, but he doesn't really have that many, what is that, 2,900 followers. Most people don't know who he is. That's pretty powerful. You could just tweet that, and then someone. Now, obviously, if Wiley was innocent and he didn't delete his account, this would be totally different. But it's pretty impressive to.
Is this true? Did we just coax a Discord announcement out of Run for Your Sports? Jacob says RPS just announced that Wiley was no longer affiliated.
We should write this for Run Pure. I think we could come up with something.
Can someone send me a screenshot of that if you have it?
Yeah. Do you gotta pay to get in their Discord, probably?
You know what? I bought a hat from them, but I have not looked into if you have to pay to be in the. I just assume so. I assume it's gated.
They could do a Trump thing. They got a lot of Trump supporters in there. Wiley was a liar from the start. I knew.
So I assume, if I'm reading this message correctly from Jacob, RPS just announced that Wiley was no longer affiliated, because JBC had mentioned that on Twitter, the day this all broke.
Yeah, 5 days ago.
Yeah, I would be curious though with the timeline for them. When was he still? Here's the thing: are you acting CEO until this tweet gets posted and you delete everything and just vanish off the face of the earth, or had you already been relieved of your duties before this?
Yeah. When did that occur? Well, first of all, you got to see what their statement says. Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be a bad part of the statement. We let him go on this day. Maybe mention the bet. Maybe not. Maybe that wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. The timeline on that is interesting. And to me though, again, going back to the PR thing, if the Run Pure Sports guys knew this was coming, again, I am going to work under the assumption that Cam tipped off his buddies Big T and them and said, I'm going public with this now. To me, the reason he probably felt going public is because he knew that they had already started to separate their ties with Wiley. But if that is the case, if I'm Run Pure Sports, I am saying, Cam, we want you to get the word out there. Brother, we want you to speak your truth. But if you don't mind, we would like to announce first that Wiley is no longer with the company and we are no longer working with him. Can we just get that message out first? And then you can come out and pile on. Isn't that the logical sequence of events?
Oh man, that they should have done that. It's too bad. Which also you're raising a good point there. Why didn't they do that? I'm looking through JBC's tweets. It looks like he deleted that tweet, I think.
He did?
I mean, I could miss it. I'm doing this live, so.
Yeah. I mean, so there's definitely more to this story. There's definitely more to this story that we are not privy to.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for Run Pure. My an old softie, Pete.
No, it's just, what a historical run of just, you thought, you say to yourself in life, what's a better way? I mean, Brian, you and I have clearly thought this. What a better way to make a living in life than just talking fantasy sports with your pals, maybe build some products, make some content, build a community, live the good life. It's the dream. But apparently it's really hard to pull off without relationships blowing up in your face and people scamming you.
I think once a semi runs over your prized horse, you should probably start reconsidering. I don't know.
That part is legitimately sad. I mean, that is.
Oh yeah.
That is. That's a hard. I mean, you're so excited. You got this stake in a horse, and it fucking
that's a bummer.
Maimed in an accident. I mean, Jesus. Someone said something. There was a comment about the horse earlier. They were looking at like the racing horse, or the racing history of the horse, and that they bought it like someone. Oh, here it is. I found it. Alex says their history of this horse is such a disaster. Looks like they saw a horse get a fluke win on a debut midweek of the Derby and acted like they just bought a Derby winning horse. So Wiley fired up the group chat. He started rounding up the investors and said, I found a once in a lifetime business opportunity for all of you. If you could please wire me.
Did he ever win anything? I don't remember seeing his name too frequently.
Wiley77.
Yeah.
Well, people were mentioning it in the chat, and I remember this too. He was big into rainmakers. He was.
Oh, there's another.
I think he was one of because there were a few of those guys who were playing with pretty big size. Like I know Brandon Adams was. I'm pretty sure Bales was for a little bit.
Petty was, I think. He got out, I think, but he was
Petty of Lulz chat fame just a few minutes ago.
Who else had one? Someone else we know had a big stake in it.
Yeah, I forget. There were people playing pretty big size there. So and I think I remember him having some success in that. Didn't he have was he like a hockey DFS guy too?
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
I think hockey and golf.
Yeah.
Did CSU spend time in Rainmakers? Oh my God.
There you go. Petty theft.
Alex
Wiley bought a ton of my set when I exited.
How much, Petty? How much cash did he give you? Just out of curiosity. I guess you can't say with tax purposes, but I wonder if, because like there's no way this man had $3 million to make those bets. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I remember this too. I remember him having some NFL Showdown.
That's why he did that third company that's no longer around, huh? The Showdown, or
yeah. Petty theft says low to mid 5 figures.
Okay. So reasonable.
Petty Wiley before he Wiley'd Camp.
What the?
Yeah, and it's funny you meant that podcast we referenced in here. He at the end of this interview, I didn't even listen to the full thing. I just listened to the
I listened to like half of it.
But he admits being sheepish about having talked shit about touts.
Yeah.
Previously, that he basically said, I regret that I talked shit and then, became a guy who was going to be the CEO. Isn't that the psychological term of, projection? Like you hate the things in others and you're like, these touts are scammers. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just trying to rip people off with their sub money.
My integrity would never allow.
You hate the things in others that you hate the most.
Yeah. It's like the politician, has like, anti-gay stuff. And then they're caught in a truck stop bathroom with a dude.
Yeah.
It's always the biggest shamers who are like, you find out any details about their personal life and they're the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you would think Run Pure, at the very least, is there a job position opening right now at Run Pure? CEO Run Pure. Who wants to take over? This is who took over Enron after that. Like who's the man for the job, Brian? If you're hiring the new CEO of Run Pure Sports.
Oh God. Maybe someone from Ship It Nation can come over and help him out. Has Ship It Nation talked any shit about this? I don't think they've even mentioned it at all. Hoops taking the high road. Let's see. Oh, no. He's not taking the high road at all.
CSU Ram taking over Run Pure Sports. Penny says Ship It Nation and Run Pure Sports merging back would be exactly what the DFS community
needs. That would be funny. Yeah.
I would say you get the big loving embrace between Big T and Hoop.
I would say if they have anywhere near 50 employees, they need to like look at that. Actually, I don't want anyone to lose their job, but the first tweet I see from
Whoa. I just got a message from CamCole on how.
Shit.
All right, can we get him on here?
Let's see. Yeah, all you need, he doesn't even need a camera.
Come on.
Oh, okay. I got the RPS
announcement. The link.
Too.
I can't DM.
You need to show this too after. Thank you for that message. And this is from another insider, Pete.
What, you sent me a message?
I sent you a message, but I'm also reading a different.
Oh, okay.
I should read this before I say it out loud, huh? Apparently, there was some inside stuff.
This was the last. Wiley said,
"This is Hoop. This is Hoop." No, and then there's you wanted the Run Pure messages. I pasted it.
Okay. In
Discord.
Who's this guy? Statsational. So this was from 327. So this isn't new. I thought I thought maybe they did a post live. This is from the weekend, March 27th. Following a recent internal investigation, the partners of Run Pure Sports have removed Matthew Wiley from the company effective immediately. He no longer represents RPS in any capacity. We cannot provide additional details due to ongoing legal proceedings. So again, like it's just crazy to me that they didn't get out in front of this before the CamCole stuff. Like, how did this stuff not get rolling? Because the way the CamCole stuff hits, if you do this first, is so different. It's so different. Like, he had to come out and do a follow-up of like, no, I'm cool with the Run Pure Sports guys. It's like, I don't know whose idea or what. There was clearly no communication here, because this would have broke so much better for them if they owned the initial narrative on this, as opposed to reacting to the Cam stuff. Like, this message is in direct relation to the Cam announcement.
So this message, don't sue us, don't dupe us, but from an anonymous source. Apparently there was some inside stuff that happened at Run Pure with Wiley that ultimately got him terminated. So he heard this from a person or coworker there. And a statement from Run Pure should be coming out. Also, Wiley pushed out AP, for people who don't know AP on Twitter.
I remember that guy. Yeah, he was one of...
Who knows if this is true, but...
I just remember he was one of the core guys who I think helped them launch the company when they left Roto Grinders. It was like AP, Big T, and Hoop.
Right, exactly. The way that they switched this DM stuff on Twitter makes it so hard to see when people DM you who aren't following you. It's so annoying. That's a side note. Did you respond to Cam?
I did. I said to him, DM me and I'll send you the link. I can't DM.
Yeah, you can't publicly put the...
Let's see.
Did he put it in there?
He might have just started following me. Okay, so now I can DM. All right, Cam, I just sent you the link.
Yep, there you go.
All right.
Maybe we'll find out here.
This would be very nice.
Yeah.
It would be very nice to have what do you I mean, the stuff I'm most interested in, because he's posted a lot of the stuff with Wiley. I'm most interested in how much he had been in communication with the other Run Pure guys about this, or if he finally was private about this and then just decided, all right, I'm going public.
Yeah, and just his general thoughts on Wiley, like what happened, like what. Did you think he had the money? Obviously, he did. Why do you think he did this? I'd like to. I wonder if he put together what I think I put together, which is he was trying to free roll him with the 2.5 million to 500K for the popular vote.
Yeah,
the money matches so perfectly. Of course, that's what he was trying to do. And then when he denied the 50K to 250, I think that kind of confirms it. He was targeting him. It's pretty malicious. Like I know it's like just even the original thing's malicious, but that's really bad.
It's so malicious because of the level of familiarity, right? There's one thing if it's like some other person from the corner of the DFS internet that you don't like,
which is still wrong, but
it's still very wrong.
Yeah.
But it's when you do it with someone who felt comfortable, that you had their phone number, that you had done business
escrowing. Yeah.
That's what makes it like, that's the shady shit right there. It's an extra level of bad to do it to someone that is more close to you than just an internet stranger.
It's pretty disgusting. Yeah, chances Wiley is watching now. 95%. Or he'll watch this if he's not watching now. I'll bet you 500K, Pete, that Wiley is watching right now.
I mean, people made comments about that he's the type of narcissist who would definitely have a burner and want to hear, people talking about him.
2.5 million versus your 500K he's watching right now.
But to me, I guess why I would disagree. If you were that level of a narcissist, wouldn't you keep your account up just so you could see all of the notifications that come in?
Yeah, unless you have a burner. To see all the tags.
Yeah, like if you are feeding off that dopamine attention.
I don't think this necessarily means he's a narcissist. You don't have to be
No, I'm not. I don't know him well enough, but that's what people were.
Oh yeah, he could be. Yeah, he could be both. Well, can you imagine how hard this must be for a narcissist then? Like to know the best thing is to delete your Twitter.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But I'm even just saying, like, the deleting it is such it makes it such an open and shut case of what happened. Again, if I was giving out free advice of how to navigate welching on a 500K bet, I would say do not delete your Twitter. I would say delete it off your phone, delete the bookmark off your browser. Don't log in, but do not delete your Twitter account. Because it makes it look so bad. I mean, isn't it the ultimate smoking gun if you do that?
It wouldn't have blown up like this if you didn't delete it. It would have taken a while. Going crazy, knock my glasses off. It would have taken him a while, I think, to get to this level. But after you delete it, it's like, okay, so clearly
he should have taken a playbook out of his boy, the real Prez.
What do you think he did to run? What do you think he did to run Pierre? I'm sorry, I ruined your bit. What's the El Prez thing?
Well, El Prez would tweet through it. He would turn it into content. He would absolutely make a meal of it. And I guess that's where the Portnoy cosplay came to an end, because I promise you Portnoy ain't delete that account.
That's kind of funny if he actually is a huge lib, and even his Portnoy cosplay was fake. Like he doesn't even like Portnoy, Yeah. It's just an all act.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
The Portnoy thing or what? The thing before that?
No, before, when I was starting on the Portnoy, you were about to say something.
Oh, I can't remember anymore. Okay. Cam, you have to go to the DM section of your Twitter account and go to DMs. There'll be a peer.
Please don't condescend to our future guests that we need to inject life into this stream. Shout out to everyone watching. Lulz. We the last episode we did was with Dan Bach, talked about the state of the DFS industry. And, Brian and I have often made jokes on this program over the past year or so, basically since the Hoop incident, of we need more drama. We need more things like this in the DFS space. We finally got it, Brian. We finally coaxed out a topic that has encouraged 330 people to watch us live here.
Yeah, this is a big one.
But it would be nice to get some firsthand accounts, because we can only go so far. I think we've connected some dots. I think we have a pretty good read on the situation, but boy, could Cam or Big T
or Wiley. The long shot. The Hail Mary.
Wiley, I know that you have scrubbed your entire existence from the internet, but if there's a way to send you a StreamYard link, man, I wish I had a screenshot of it. I think it was I think he had talked shit about me way back in the day on a Twitter exchange. I think it was back when I was doing man stuff. And he had talked shit about it.
Man going in the chat. And also Cam, you don't need a camera if you don't want one either. Doesn't really matter.
Mangone,
It'll still work.
Mangone, what happened to you getting me some intel? You said I can ask and let you know. And now you have not responded. In my book, that's just as bad as what Wiley did. I think it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, we will happily mediate. They might, they didn't get escrow, but what's the next best version of escrow?
Oh yeah.
Us mediating.
Arbitration.
Here we go.
Yes, we will happily be the arbiters. What does Wiley have left that he can give to Cam? I bet Cam would take it too. That's another question if he comes on. What would he take? Actually, you don't want to let it. I guess maybe he doesn't want to let that on in case it does happen. I think he's getting 0 at this point. But like, would he take 50K and then say fine?
Well, we've always talked about, or previously, I think it was during the Hoop saga of like what ownership in a DFS company even means. Of like, is it just rev share? Like what does that mean for you guys at in-game syndicate? Is it obviously if you were to sell, like you guys are owners, but in practicality, it's a share of the monthly profits, right?
No, I mean, basically all it means is that if we sell. Yeah. Because the monthly profits, there's not a lot of money because pay fees and marketing and all that type of stuff.
Just put it back in the business.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But obviously, I mean, we talked about it before. I mean, Run Pure Sports, like there's a reason, they have a certain amount of cash flow from monthly annual subs. I think we looked previously. I mean, their sub is expensive.
We did a whole show on, we were guessing how much they make. Mangone could tell us, he might know.
Wait a second. In the StreamYard hopper right now, Cam, I see your video or your box. Let me see if I can get you. Are you going to turn your camera on? Let me just pull you on screen. Maybe we can start with.
He doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right.
I would. I'm driving right now.
You're good. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. Brian and I can only wildly speculate for so long before we hear it from. I hate to say this, but the horse's mouth.
Yep. Here I am. What do you want to know?
Well, first of all, thank you for coming on the show. Second of all, sorry that you are owed $500,000. I guess first, like, what has this all been like for you? Obviously, you made this post over the weekend. There's been a lot of conversation about it. Maybe just talk about your decision to post it and what your thoughts to the reaction has been.
Well, I waited quite a long time to make any post on it. He did pay me $100,000, and that was probably 4 months after the bet. And I said, okay, let's just keep a good relationship. And I don't care if you send me $500 a month or whatever you want to do. Let's just try to make it right. I think I even made an offer to him just to send me $300, and I'd cancel the rest of the $150 that was remaining. And we talked for 1.5 years. I think that's how long it's been, but he kind of went radio silent on me, never made any payments. And the one thing he asked is not to expose him on Twitter. So I said, I'm going to go public with it if I don't hear from you. And I didn't hear from him for about a month, and I just did it.
And it sounds like, I mean, what's your like previous history with him? And the Run Pure Sports guys, we were trying to figure that out because you mentioned that you guys were in on the horse together.
Yeah, I guess that was the first time I'd done anything really with him. I can't even remember how we got connected, but we bought a horse with him, me and a couple of my partners in Midland, and that was the first experience. And the horse's name was Warheaded, and I just called him Right Off. He was. Now I'm wondering if that was a scam too. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you notice? I was reading the DMs you posted on him. I thought he was. I'm surprised he paid you the $100K, because to me it looked like a straight up scam when he offered the $2.5 million for $500K on the popular vote. Because in my head he thinks he's just double free rolling you. Like either way, if he wins that one, then that pays the other one, and if not, he's just not going to pay you.
Yeah, that's looking back. That's definitely what he was doing.
Yeah, because why deny the $50K to $250 immediately afterwards? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. I talked to him and bought a horse with him and spoke regularly, and even talked about going and playing golf in Kentucky with the guy, and I thought we were friends, but he kind of hassled me for months about this bet. And I mean, if I scroll up, I'm like, let's just do 10,000, but it just so happened that the night before the election, he was kind of on my ass, and I'd had some beers, and I said, all right, let's just do 500.
What had you guys had any backstory? I mean, aside from the horse, like making bets, like going back and forth on I don't know, any kind of sporting stuff, or was this like a unique exchange for you guys?
It was unique for sure. I don't think we had any bets prior to this.
Do you think? So you called him a lib? Is he like? I don't know this guy. Are you just saying that because he bet on Kamala, or is he actually like a liberal person?
Oh, he's super liberal.
Okay.
I mean, I knew that would piss him off. That's why I said Wiley the lib.
Did you think like he was targeting you? Because like you said, he was trying to get you to bet for so long. Like in hindsight?
I think. I mean, well, he just knows I'm from Texas and Republican, so he kind of messed with me about that a lot. I think this was his time to prove how good the liberals were, and I had talked shit about Kamala. I don't know how you don't, and I don't know. I guess I just rubbed him the wrong way, and he was ready to put his money on it, or free roll on it at least.
Yeah.
Are you boys with like Big T and JBC? Like, are they part of your circle, or what kind of familiarity do you have with them?
Yeah, I'm good friends with Big T, and then I met JBC in San Diego years ago, and we've become pretty good buddies too. But I've known Big T for a long time.
And so, did you tell them about this Wiley bet?
No, I kind of just kept it to myself. Coincidentally, the same day they fired Wiley, and it was just a big coincidence.
I would say not
honestly.
so coincidentally, Cam.
Did you
sorry,
think
you kind of broke up? What'd you say?
He made a
I
joke
said
saying,
I don't think it was a coincidence.
he said the joke was he didn't think it was a coincidence. And were you surprised that your tweet kind of had that immediate impact? Oh, he might be going through a tunnel or something. Did we lose you?
I'm sorry, I'm losing connection, I guess.
Okay, we hear you fine. How can you still hear us?
Hey, just Cam, make sure you're staying under the speed limit. The last thing we need is another speeding ticket on our hands. All right. I hear they're handing out court dates like candy right now.
Yeah, I don't think
I lost y'all for about a minute.
Okay, do you hear us now?
Yeah.
We were talking about Run Pure, and Pete made a joke saying that maybe it wasn't a coincidence that they fired him on the same day you made that tweet. And I asked, do you think were you surprised by the impact just one tweet would have? Like how quickly?
I don't think they were. Well, I don't think they had anything to do with each other, honestly. I need to call those guys and see what they're thinking, but I doubt. I highly doubt. I'm sure there's something else going on with.
Yeah, it surprises me that just you being close with those guys that you wouldn't before going public being like, hey, just letting you know, you guys are in business with Wiley, runs the company, we're friends. Just want to give you a heads up that he's stiffing me. He's 400K short on a bet. Like maybe apply some leverage in that direction before going fully public. Did that not cross your mind?
No, because the way I looked at it, it's not their problem. It's my problem. I made a bet with someone who couldn't pay. I'm not going to jeopardize anybody's business or use that as a threat. It's my fault. I made that bet with the wrong person.
Yeah, you could also piss Wiley off and then not have any chance to get your money.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of trying to do. Just
when had he paid you the 100K?
I think it was like 4 months after the election, so early 2025.
Yeah.
You tweeted at him. I saw this tweet where you responded to something. We can't see what he said since he deleted his account. It was in July of 2025. You replied to him, free rolling ? Was that like hey?
And I was like a little I was trying to give him a nudge.
Okay, that's what I guessed.
Because the Twitter thing scared him the most. Going public with everything. And I think that was it was something about some bets he made, I think, and I just free rolling.
Knowing he was so scared of that, did he not try to string you along even more when you were like, all right, like I'm going public with this? He didn't try to push it off again?
No, he just stopped replying.
The feeling we got when Wiley kind of came on the scene, like the rumor was he was like a rich kid or a rich guy or something like that who moved from Canada, and he's into horse racing and he had a bunch of money and then got in with Run Pure. Like, what was your view of him? Like, was that accurate? Like,
that's what I felt too. I mean, I think he had FaceTimed me a couple times and was at a badass lake house with cobalt boats and wakeboard boats, and he said it was his parents' place. So I just figured he had some money, like a super nice house on a lake.
And there, because up until that, even through the dealings with the horse, like you never suspected that he didn't have the money. Like when he offered a 500K bet, in your head from your dealings with him, you thought, oh yeah, this guy definitely has the money to be able to cover a bet like this.
Yeah. I didn't think it was. Well, he sent me a screenshot of a bank account with like $1.5 million in it, and he said slush. You can see that on those texts.
Yeah. Was that fake?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw someone post that it was fake.
It was like his mortgage statement or something, but he blacked everything else out. So all I saw was $1.5 million. It was something weird like that.
It just seems like to me he was, with all that evidence, it's like he was targeting you. Unfortunately, the 2.5 million might have made me like hesitate. Where it's like, does this guy have 3 million cash on hand? I know he's supposed to be rich, but that might be pushing it.
Well, that's why I took it down, because I knew it was going to hurt him at 500 just based off having $1.5 million in an account. You lose a third of it.
Right.
Had you ever done a bet this big before?
Oh yeah.
What other bets have you done that are of note?
TCU versus Michigan. I think I had 250 on the +7 and 150 on the money line. That was a big one.
What about with like, was that a book?
Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl, the last one? I probably had 300 or 400 on that one, but those are probably the biggest.
Was that with books or with buddies?
Yeah, DraftKings and then local books, since you can't bet legally in Texas.
What's this
What,
EM2 tweet you put there with he welched on 90K?
I'm not going to speak to that. He contacted me. We've got a long history, but I was frustrated.
Is he still around? He's not on Twitter anymore, so who knows?
Yeah, he is. I talked to him.
Okay. Who else do you know in like the DFS world?
Oh, like Slong and JBC, Big T, Empire. I've met Whistles at a few of the events. Yuta.
Everyone knows you somehow.
What is your what was
He's
your
great.
like what were you doing before DFS? It obviously sounds like you play pretty big volume now, and obviously a lot of sports betting as well, but what's kind of like your background pre all of this?
I'm in the oil and gas business. I just do this as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Yeah.
Are you a golfer?
Yeah, I golf. Love it.
What's your handicap?
I think it's a 5 right now.
Oh shit. Okay. That's pretty good.
It's still like, even when Brian asks you like your crew, like in the DFS space, and it's like all the Run Pure Sports guys, it does still seem like crazy to me that you never would have told one of them, like, hey, the CEO of your company, because you said you didn't want to ruin like their business interests or whatever, but like you going public, like clearly was going to have a downstream effect for Run Pure Sports, to the tune of them even having to announce that he was ousted. So it never crossed your mind to kind of like be like, hey, Big T, you might want to, talk to your boy here before I blow this up everywhere?
Yeah, it crossed my mind for sure. It's like I said, it wasn't their problem. And, I think that they were happy. I thought that they were happy with, Wiley being the CEO or the president, whatever he was. Mm-hmm. I thought they had a good thing going there.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to disturb any of that, which none of that was my business.
Yeah. But you felt the need to like do the follow-up tweet and segment, hey, this had nothing to do with Run Pure Sports or those guys, but clearly it reflects poorly on them.
Because these guys were, people were saying that, that somehow they were aligned, but that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing Run Pure would have is if they knew about it and then didn't do anything fast enough. But even that, I don't think is really like the worst.
Yeah, but what could they have done? They couldn't have done anything.
They could have let him go sooner, I guess, if they knew earlier. But they let him go as soon as the tweet came out. But I think there was something else going on there. It sounds like we're getting people DM.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there had to be.
So you're pretty much washing this money. I'm assuming you're not going to like try to do anything like sue them or anything like that. You're kind of just assuming this money's gone.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what I could do. I mean, I guess I could talk to my lawyers and see, but it's, I feel like that was enough. He's down pretty bad right now, I'd assume, and I kind of feel bad for him, honestly.
I talked to my lawyer for you. His name is Grok, and Grok said, Grok said you don't really have a very good case based on your DMs.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Have you talked to anyone from Run Pure since all of this exploded?
I've talked to Big T. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he pass along anything interesting? Was he upset that you went public with that or anything along those lines?
No, he wasn't at all.
Yeah. He just said that this Wiley was going to be gone regardless of this situation, or he implied that?
Yeah.
So what is your?
He's like, I wish you would have told me, and I was like, I didn't want to bother you with it. I know you got your own things to deal with, so.
Yeah, that's kind of a double-edged sword. Yeah, you're kind of. It's honestly, this is all Wiley's fault, like your guy's fault.
Yeah.
What's your? I mean, obviously, no one knows what another man's thinking, but like, what do you think Wiley was thinking? Do you think like he was having money issues and he was trying to get out of it using you? Do you think he was drunk? Because his texts to you were so weird.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like I said, it went on for a long time.
Right.
That's begged me for this million. He wanted $1 million. He wanted $1 million bet, and I suggested 10,000, 5,000, 20. There's a bunch of different suggestions, but he was hazing me about it, and finally I had a few beers and I said, all right, let's go.
But do you think he was a rich kid, like with no money or something, and he's just out of pocket?
I really have no idea.
Huh? Okay. I
don't know. I wish I did.
Yeah, I'm sure Wiley's watching this right now, so maybe he can tell us.
You had to have been. I mean, what do you? Because I find this boring, but the chat just talks about it nonstop. People want to know, why didn't you escrow this bet? So Cam, can you explain to them how stuff like this unfolds and why you didn't go that route?
Well, where I'm from, a handshake's as good as any deal. So I kind of just played with those same type scenarios, and I was wrong. I didn't really feel a need to do any of that. And it was the day before, the night before at whatever time it was, late.
Yeah.
Have you ever done other side bets, not with like a sports book or whatever, or anything at this size or anything along these lines?
With another peer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Like, I mean, Yuta and I gamble a lot, just on sports bets.
Doesn't surprise me.
No problems,
Yeah, no, he'll pay. He'll pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who's up lifetime between you and Yuta and head-to-head bets?
You'll have to ask him.
Okay, we will. The thing that pisses me off, like just generally speaking, in our world, our little gambling world too, is like it just makes everyone fucking look bad. Not to mention, the theft of money for you. Obviously, that was horrible. But like, because like when people ask about the escrow stuff, guys in our world bet and lend each other money. Not this much. Like that's pretty high, but it has happened quite often with no escrow. So it's fairly common.
Yeah, and I'd have to do escrow every time I play golf with, Wolf games. So don't want to do that. It's just make a bet and pay it if you lose, or collect if you win.
Yeah. Why do you think he paid you the 100?
I think he was thinking he was going to pay it all off, but I'm sure that 100 hurt, and he just couldn't make it happen for the remainder.
Do you think in his head he thought
he was trying to make it right? I mean, that's why, a year and a half went by. I thought another payment was coming, and then maybe some type of payment plan. Like I said, I wouldn't have cared if it was, $5,000 a month or $500 a month. Just do something, and I'm not going to say anything. Just make an effort to make it right, and he was.
Yeah, I mean, the 100K payment is a it definitely pokes a hole in the theory of like that his intention was always to all out scam, right? Because if you're gonna scam, you're not giving someone a cent. Like, and if that the end game is like deleting your Twitter account and vanishing, you're not paying a cent. So like he clearly didn't want it to go down like this.
You'd think,
I
but
think
like
he just he got in over his head, and that's the bottom line. And like I said, I feel bad for him, but don't make the bet. I mean, he said he was trying to impress me. Well, that didn't impress me. I I don't care.
Yeah. That doesn't make much sense. That's what I was talking about. Like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to impress you. And like, and I was cosplaying or whatever. It's like, what world do you live in? Like, no one who does gambling podcasts and works in the gambling world, as long as he did, doesn't understand what occurred.
Right. Yep.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, do you think he just thought it was like a mortal lock that she was winning?
Oh, he definitely thought that.
Yeah, and you were just somebody who had a bunch of money that he could get the most down on this mortal lock. So why not do it? Like, is it that simple?
Yeah. Yep. I think that it's that.
Yeah, like Deeg says in the chat, I don't think he was truly free rolling. I think he was just way, way too confident in Kamala of all things and thought it was a lock. The 100K was all he could send to afford, maybe not having his name dragged. Does that check out for you?
Yeah, that's probably true.
Well, I mean, I guess 100K makes sense. So, like, I'm assuming he's not a rich kid, because wouldn't Daddy bail him out?
Well, he just said showed the house and the boats. And
if I called my dad to bail me out of something like that to save my Twitter, he'd tell me to fuck off.
Yeah, but,
yeah, but he might be a rich kid. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not a Canadian liberal.
Yeah.
Man, was there, obviously you felt comfortable posting the DMs of, from like when the bet transpired, but it sounds like there's been some more conversation with you guys. Obviously, when he sent the 100K, are there other DMs was there a reason you didn't post those as well or mention the 100K?
I didn't even think to mention it, but I'll mention it now. But
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of correspondence between the last 18 months or so.
Yeah. And
it just ended about 3 months ago. He stopped talking to me.
Well, what was the last thing he said to you before he stopped responding?
Let me see.
Well, he's looking that up, Pete. This also jives with what I was saying, where like we haven't heard anything out of Wiley in a while. It's probably because of this.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk a lot of shit on Twitter when you owe someone 400K.
Yeah, October 31st, I said, it's time to pay, bud. It's been a year, LOL. No response. November 17th, buddy. And then he tried to call me, and I said, I'm in a meeting. What's up? He said, close to the finish line. We'll get something done. Just hang with me. Give me a call anytime. And then I text him back, and I said, okay, I'm ready. December 29, it's time. And then it's nothing else after that.
And then you gave him a few warnings and been like, hey man, if you don't get something rolling here, some kind of payment plan, I'm going public with this. And then he just didn't respond to that.
Yeah, so I'm either going to start charging interest or tweeting. It's your choice. That was the last last text to him.
Man.
When was the 100K? When did he send the 100K again?
Probably like in March of 25, maybe.
Okay, so still even, was it 5 months after Election Day?
Yeah, but you saw he was texting me wire on Friday after the bet or election.
Yeah. Right.
So that November.
Is that how he paid you the 100K? Just wired you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. Crazy.
It's still so strange to me. The 2.5 million, I think is still the weirdest angle for me, because to me he's clearly trying to. He can't afford it, obviously, and so like that's a monster free roll middle where even if he loses one, he wins the other, he breaks even. If he loses both, he just skips town, deletes his Twitter.
Yeah.
But then he pays the 100K. So like he was trying to salvage. I wonder if this RPS thing, maybe this RPS, like whatever's happening internally over there, maybe that's been brewing for a couple months. And he's like, I'm going to lose this RPS thing anyways. My Twitter's not going to be worth shit after that. I'm just going to stiff Cam. and delete my Twitter and get fired from RPS.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to talk to those guys more in depth, but about
It'd be interesting to know.
went on over there. I think I'm going to do a show with Big T for the Masters next week, so I'm sure I'll be talking to him before that.
I would plan it. It's funny because we're at the end of our show and everyone in the chat wants your Masters takes. You're going to have the inverse on the Big T show. You're going to start out wanting to do Masters takes and everyone's going to want you to talk about this.
Yeah. Well, Zach Johnson won me the $1 million last year.
Oh, wow. I think I saw that in somebody. I was looking at your Twitter timeline and there was a lot of ZJs in there.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite DFS sport, golf?
Yeah, I really like the NFL showdowns too. I think those are fun.
Yeah. Is there
those
any?
Those are the only two sports I play, really, golf and football.
Is there anything at this point besides obviously giving you $400K? Is there anything Wiley could do? Like, could he come back and give you $10K a month and start doing that, or is it?
I don't care if he pays me $500 a month. I mean, something to make it right.
Okay.
That is, I think, what's crazy about it is it sounds like you were extremely lax with him and him. Like, it's so funny, like him giving you $100K, he could have just said like, I'm going to give you $500 a month. Like, spread out that 100K. Like, he could have strung you along a lot more. And it sounds like you would have been kind of generous as long as he was showing a continuous effort to pay it back.
Just good faith. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Like I said to him, I said, what if I would have laid this off on, these local books in Texas, but, they're not good guys. What if I would have laid this off,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, the worst part is he would have taken the full. What would have been? How much would he got out if you total 600 plus 250, 850? He would have taken that gleefully if he got both those bets with you.
Oh,
can you go ahead, Kim.
No, I was just agreeing.
I was gonna ask, could you clear up some of that? We were trying to like piece together the horse stuff. Obviously, it sounds like he was the ringleader. You guys sent him money for an equity share in that. Explain like what happened with the horse. We were looking at the accident. Was that just an immediate like sunk cost, or how did that all transpire?
Well, that horse, the horses involved in that accident were those were different horses that I think he was a part of.
Oh,
our horse was just slow. Honestly.
Who picked
he looked
that
good,
horse?
he just couldn't run very fast.
Who picked that horse?
Him and his trainer.
Wiley
that
picked
has
it?
all this experience, and that's what I told him. I go, I shouldn't be doing this. I said, do you know how you turn a billionaire into a millionaire? And he said, how? And I said, you get in the horse business.
How much were you in for on that horse?
I think I had $250,000 horse.
Okay.
So 25,000.
And that, like, were a bunch of you guys all in for 10%? Was it split like 10 ways?
No, there was all different ownership. My business partner had like 5,000. There was guys with bigger stakes.
And did the money go to just purchasing the horse, or was that like part of the money that you guys needed to maintain and operate and travel or whatever?
Yeah, I think there was probably like an extra 25,000 or something, in there for just joint interest billing that would be covered for the year.
But I guess I was just trying to, but there wasn't anything like fishy where you thought like the money was going elsewhere, like things with the horse felt above board with Wiley.
No, because that trainer, I forget his name, but he was reputable. I mean, he was in the group messages and on all the LLC documents and all that stuff. So No, nothing felt fishy at all on that deal.
That's because I'm thinking the only way he could get fired from Run Pure if something fishy happened, right? Like it's pretty much got to be. Like why else would they fire him if it had nothing to do with this? So maybe that your joke about the way to turn a billionaire into a millionaire, maybe that's what happened to Wiley.
Maybe. I don't know.
He had some millions and the horses got it all. And he was trying
He
to
wouldn't
get
be
whole.
the first. I know that. Yeah.
He's trying to get whole in one big bet. And then after sobering up, he's like, maybe I could scavenge back 100K here and 100K there and make it all whole. And he just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like to speculate too much on his situation, but
have you enjoyed the dopamine rush of being one of the main characters on Twitter now here for a few days? I mean, the amount of engagement you're getting is wild.
No, not at all. It kind of gives me an anxiety, honestly.
What?
Yeah.
My
Don't delete your Twitter account.
It's been private for 2 or 3 years, and I opened it back up to send that out.
Oh, yeah. You went friends with Pete. You didn't go friends with me. You got to follow me because I'll like all your comments. Pete probably won't.
Wow.
Okay.
Like when you attack Kamala, I'll like that. Pete won't.
What with DFS stuff? Like what's can we put you in a classic archetype? Are you a sim bro? Are you a hand builder? Like what has been the secret sauce behind all of your DFS success?
I'm a hand builder.
Yeah.
Yep. I've tried to do the sims. Like for the $20, I'll run one, but all the big contests, the Mega Millionaires and Heavy Hitter, Thunderdome, those type of games that I'm usually in, that's just hand building.
Nice. What and I assume you're an RPS bro. Is that where you get your goods, or do you originate your own projections? What do you do?
Projections, I really don't mess with them too much. In football I do more than golf. Golf is pretty much just watching and all feel, but yeah, I like RPS for sure.
So yeah, I mean, we do ask all of our guests if they're on Team Run Pure Sports or Ship It Nation. Do you have a dog in that fight?
I don't have a dog in the fight, but I just love Big T, so I'll say RPS.
All right, there you go. Do you know Hoop at all? Do you have any history with Hoop?
Yeah, I did some shows with him back in the day. I can't remember how long ago that was. It would have been after my first Millionaire, which was the PGA Championship that Phil Mickelson won.
Okay.
Him and Brooks kind of battled it out. Yeah.
That was awesome. What if this ends up with you owning Run Pure Sports? Wouldn't that be something?
Would
maybe,
you? Yeah, is that something you'd be interested in?
They need a new golf writer.
Job opening.
Yeah, there's a job opening. They need a new CEO. They need a new president. They need a new golf writer. You could fit right in.
Hear me?
Yeah, you must have went out there.
We basically are kind of figuring out your life.
Can y'all hear me?
And
yeah, we hear you. You hear us? We hear you.
Our suggestion is you give your 2 weeks in notice for oil and gas, and you become the new CEO of Run Pure Sports.
Yo. We can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, you clicked the mute and you're back on. Can you hear us? Well, the connection lasted for a while.
Cam, if you don't got
I
us,
can't hear y'all.
Okay.
All right. Well, Cam, we appreciate you coming on. Seriously, it was nice to get some additional details, so we weren't just speculating completely. So thank you for hopping on.
Yeah. Maybe we should message him.
Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, if Cam, if you get things figured out, let us know. Otherwise, it was great. It was great chatting with Cam there. Actually, let's see. He might be back.
Yeah, sorry.
There we go.
I'm about to walk into a meeting, but I don't know what just happened. Someone called me, and then the microphone stopped working.
He said, "Hang on, I'm on a very important DFS gossip podcast right now. The meeting is going to have to be delayed."
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you for sharing this with us. And then, do you have a Masters pick for the people? The chat's still asking for your Masters takes.
Masters pick winner.
Sure.
I mean, I won't be greedy. You want to give me a T5? I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take Rahm top 5.
Rahm?
That's what I like.
All right.
It.
There you go. I'm putting $500K on it. And if it doesn't win, I'm coming collecting, Cam.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're wrong.
If you need to get 500 grand down, just call me. I'll take it from anybody.
All right. There you go.
Thanks for
Despite
coming on.
the scars, Cam is still open for business. All right. We'll see you, Cam.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. See y'all later.
All right. Peace.
Thank you.
Man.
All right.
There were some major revelations in that relative to what we were thinking.
Oh, my head's hurting.
The 100K, that was a huge revelation.
Yes.
And then maybe this is just an angle that I find crazy and no one else did, but just like the no communication with Big T and those guys until after.
I noticed you asked them 18 times.
I can't wrap my head around being friends with those guys and just being like, hey, I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm going public with this. This is probably going to be a bad look for your company. If there's anything you need to do, that just seems like something you would have done. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like Big T wanted him to do it too. So he said Big T wasn't happy that he didn't do it, which makes sense. I mean, it doesn't hurt them. Just tell us and then we'll fire them. Yeah.
The order would have done them a huge favor.
That would have been, but he was trying to do him a favor the other way.
Yeah.
It's not your problem. You don't have to deal with it. I don't know. That all made sense to me, honestly. It's the Wiley stuff that doesn't make sense after the 100K.
Yes. That completely blows up the outright. I mean, it's such a weird, he's clearly a scammer, but it's a very weird scam to pay back 100K.
Yes.
A true scammer ain't giving 100K back.
No, I mean, I wonder who knows, but maybe it was a scam. And then he's like, maybe I can get out of it, and save my reputation and save my job and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he decided to pay it.
Yeah.
Or I think he just thought it was a free. I think he thought it was a free roll. He thought she was going to win 100%. You can't get 500 grand down at Bodog.
Yeah. And I think he clearly, Cam said it. He was very terrified about him going public with it. He knew that would destroy whatever reputation he had in the DFS space, destroy his ability to be the CEO of a company with that kind of track record. And then it seems like things in his life, either with Run Pure Sports, whatever this ticket thing, whatever was going on, things spiraled and he just decided the nuclear option out of everything was the best path forward. There was because I think if things were fine with Run Pure, he probably tries to string Cam along more. Right? Saying hey, no, I'll get you. Because it seems like Cam was pretty agreeable. I literally think if he told Cam he would send him $500 a month, he could have done that for the rest of his life. And Cam probably would have just been like, all right, this is ridiculous, but you're trying.
Yeah. Yeah. The story behind Run Pure will tell us a lot if we could figure that out. Because I said this to Cam. I imagine their relationship falling apart over at Run Pure with Wiley. Also, he was like, well, fuck it. Why am I going to pay this guy $400K when I'm going to look like a fool getting fired from here?
Right. When that's been your whole
anyways, just nuke it.
Yeah.
Save the 400.
Yeah. And so now the thing is like, was there funny business going on with him leading Run Pure? Like, was there actual shit with money and finances, as evidenced by some of the contributors saying they weren't getting paid, etc.? Or was it just like personality differences? People didn't like working with him. He wasn't actually making more money for the company. Was it just a traditional like, hey, this isn't working. We need to go in another direction? Or was there actual tomfoolery that kind of corroborates what happened with Cam?
Somebody just, I lost the comment, but someone said, unless the $100K you paying back isn't yours. And it's like, ooh, like he stole it from here. I doubt that.
But again, if that's the case, there's no way that those guys aren't involved with the.
I mean, still, even like because you could like he stole $100K. It takes him a while to figure it out. He stole $100K for himself. Who knows? Like, it doesn't have to be for a debt Welch.
Yeah, no, but again, it goes back to they all could have done each other such a favor. Like, say the 100K was from Run Pure Muddy, Cam tipping off his boys about what was going on with their CEO,
right?
Would have been probably very helpful information.
But if he tips them off, he loses $400,000.
Yeah.
Wiley's probably like, you fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck me. I told you not to tell anybody.
Yeah. I mean, Deke says apparently Wiley was doing some shady stuff at RPS already, even before the story broke.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems pretty clear. Yeah.
This is what we're figuring out here, allegedly.
Yeah. The whole thing, I do believe them that he didn't get pushed out because he welched on a bet, but the timing of it was crazy.
Yeah. No, listen, yes. I hear what you're saying. I know from the way Cam talks, like he's telling us the truth from what I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think
I do. If I had, I really,
he's not even speculating on a man's motivations who stiffed him for $400K. He's not, like where I would just be like, that piece of shit. He's probably doing drugs and fucking,
I really like talking to Cam. I do think it's a little, whether intentional or not, deceptive to do multiple tweets about the incident, multiple follow-up tweets clarifying, and not mention that he had paid $100K of the $500K back. And I am not remotely on Wiley's side or whatever, but it's like, if we're sharing contextual details about all this stuff, side bets, that seems like pretty important information to include.
Yeah, but like it's important information for us to understand, but what does it matter like in the context of him getting his money?
Well, it matters with, I think, the timeline and how much effort was going into actually paying him back. Because but like, we know,
somebody ripped me up for $400K, I wouldn't like go out of my way like, but in Wiley's defense, he did give me $100K. He's going to stiff me for 400, but I want to just, he's really not all bad.
No, I'm glad he did volunteer. And again, I'm not saying it changes anything from what is owed. I do just think it's a valuable part of the story for understanding how this unfolded, because it changes.
He's on a podcast saying it. This is kind of how, if you were just some dude who wasn't involved, you'd hear about, okay, here's the tweet. Oh, on this podcast, he said there was $100K. The timeline's still unfolding, like it's within range.
For sure. Trust me, guys. I am not caping for Wiley. I promise you that. I just think that's a pretty big detail. And it's one thing if you just do one tweet and you're like, I'm just outing him, but he did lots of follow-up tweets, lots of replies. People were asking for context. People were asking for escrow. Why didn't you escrow? Well, he sent me $100K, so I thought I didn't, I thought there could be some extra context there that's helpful.
No, that would have been useful information for many reasons. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I mean, I don't know why Wiley wouldn't. He probably didn't know he could do 500. I think he said he told him 500, but maybe he thought he was joking.
That was the part that is wild to me because it does, 100K. How many months could you send someone 500 times 12?
I think the 500 is just like, I'm still here. I'm still thinking about it. I'm paying just a little bit. But eventually he'd do another 100K.
Sounds like such a nice dude that if you were just like, hey man, I got in over my head. I can only send you even $1,000 a month or whatever. And you just set up the payment plan or whatever, that is how you buy your life not getting exposed, because this guy waited 1.5 years, didn't even tell his coworkers. Like Wiley had such a long leash to make this go away.
So it's 66.6 years to pay off that.
66. I guarantee you. Maybe at some point, like, is it 5 years in that Cam's like, all right, we got to up it to 2,000 a month.
He's paying kids like his like Cam's great grandkids 500.
I mean, OA says that's a lie. If I'm owed, it might be for you, but literally Cam said that on the show. Cam said, I'll do 500 a month.
And
he said anything in good faith.
Message.
Yeah.
It's not. We're joking. The 500 is just like to say he's still here. He's taking this seriously. He's sending something, and then eventually there'd be a 50K or 100K payment or 25K payment. Then the 500, 500, and 500 when he has some, and then he wouldn't have said shit. I don't know. I believe him. He probably would have been fine. Like if he did 500 for like a year, like he'd probably be like, okay, where's my 25K at least or something. But
yeah. I mean, I think probably Wiley knows it's at some point, again, you're cosplaying as a rich, wealthy person, right? So
he must have been really cosplaying. Like hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess if you were to do the, that was the best moment of the podcast. My dad's not billing me out to save my Twitter account for 500K.
Wait, what was it? I missed it.
No, his joke about saying that why didn't he just call his dad for family money to bail him out? He's like, if I call my dad to save my Twitter account, he'd say fuck off.
Yeah, he would. I don't know, but like that was the rumor is Wiley's family's from money. They own a company or big company or something. Yeah. I don't know. I could see, how it works with a lot of those type of people. They bail their kids out no matter what they do.
Yeah. I guess it's a little different when a kid is a 40-year-old man.
Well, not these days.
Oh, well, I don't know. Yeah. Other than from here, just seeing what Run Pure says.
Yeah. That's basically it. If maybe Wiley pops on, makes a statement, and then deletes his account again or something.
No, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
No, but I think, if I was a Run Pure sub, I would want to know why separate from the bet stuff, why Wiley was gone. And it's interesting their language in that announcement that says an internal investigation. That to me does seem to indicate that funny business was occurring with company funds.
Why else would they fire him?
Why else would you need an internal investigation?
Right. It makes no sense that they would get rid of him if it truly has nothing to do with the bet. It's gotta be funny. Yeah, it's gotta be funny business.
Yeah. And it was probably just sneaky enough that it was able to go on for a long time. Because again, if you embezzle $100,000 from your company, and look, JBC, some of those guys are not idiots, right? Like they see the money coming in, they know, like they're not dumb to not catch something big. So whatever had been happening had to have been fairly sly to get by those guys, I would imagine.
You started this too, basically, or the beginning of the podcast, where the idea was you take over that part of it. Big T doesn't want to do it. So if he could push those buttons, it's pretty easy to do that kind of shady, sly stuff. The Superman, penny, Office Space, shave a penny off of every transaction type of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, you say, I have earmarked 10K of this incoming money for marketing purposes.
Yeah,
it's like,
business
okay,
expenses.
you're Mr. Block Marketing. You're Mr. Whatever.
Right.
Or I have this money earmarked for our contributors who are not getting paid.
Right. Yeah. His Dave Portnoy self-help seminar cost $20,000.
You think he's getting a signed copy of Portnoy's new book?
Yeah. I think that's the most offensive thing is he wasn't even a Portnoy fan. That was the most offensive thing in all this.
He'll always
at
be
least
my
cosplay someone you respect. He was a Lib and not a Portnoy fan.
That is so bizarre. Like, yeah, he was an interesting individual. Well, I would say, Brian, if anyone from Run Pure wants to come on and give their side or share what happened, I'm sure the audience would like it. But otherwise, I feel like we've gone about as long as we can on this story today.
Hey, we got Cam on. That's a win.
That was a win. That was a very big win. Thank you again to Cam for hopping on.
I sent a message on Twitter. You gotta follow me, Cam. Come on, man.
Oh wow, you didn't get the follow?
I think he only follows you.
Yikes. I'll slide into his DMs and be like, hey, can you follow my buddy Brian? He gets his feelings hurt.
Yes.
And,
yeah. Especially go ahead.
No, Brian, this is where you say, if you're unhappy with your Run Pure Sports sub, over at Run the Sims. Did
Utica Cow paid Cam their debts, right? Notice
that's right. Utica Cow. See the good people at Run the Sims pay up.
Yeah, you don't need to escrow with us.
That was maybe the least surprising thing ever. Just like imagining those two volleying back like 100K bets between each other on the side is just so hilarious. Yeah,
the oil guy from Midland, Texas is
unreal.
He did well. He once he's like, yeah, he's got back from vacation. I just was hanging out with the CEO of Ford Motor Company. Talking bets.
Who is the who handles the money for Run the Sims?
I do.
Wait,
Pete.
You're the Wiley?
I am the Wiley here.
Do you make Yuta and Adam and Nerdy call you Prez?
Yeah, I've got 500K bets with each of them on the next election. So
yeah,
if Run Pure after the election disappears, you'll know why.
And the thing you have to constantly account for is like, why did we just send another payment to Davis Maddock? And then you have to go.
they're always like, why did you bring this guy back? I'm gonna have to apologize, Pete, to people in our circle because I will be using the "I'll bet you 500K" bit. I'll be using that to death for the next 4 or 5 years. I'll bet you 500K that didn't happen. I'm going to be using it all the time. Just forewarning.
All right. I think that's it for now. We're kind of doing sporadic shows when there's stuff to talk about. Like when we had Dan on, it was great. So if there's ever topics, obviously things like this naturally get on our radar, but we always encourage people, shoot us a message on Twitter or in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. We have a Lulz channel. So people post links, stuff in there is helpful for us. And it was so big. We didn't even have time today to get into the PFF stuff, all of that. There were some big layoffs there, some big news. So we'll try to get back in the saddle again soon here, but thank you to everybody watching. And I had to push it back 30 minutes because we go long, but I'm going to do a best ball bash right now. So if you guys are YouTube members, want to draft a team with me, I'm going to fire up that stream. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time on Lulz. We also will post this on the audio feed as well. You can search Lulz in your podcast app of choice. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys soon. For Brian, for Club Cam, for Wiley, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys.